Hello and welcome to another episode of Coco in the Sun podcast. Today we are on chapter 15 of Bring Us to the Dawn. Today what I wanted to talk about was another aspect of bringing things into your reality. There's so many aspects of it. And I think it can become really complicated. I think the best thing to do generally is just follow your heart, live in the moment, and just know it'll work out how it's supposed to work out. But another thing I found works for me is really being content in the moment, right? So sometimes that's hard to do with where you're at. And I found like if I am what I was seeking to myself and I can be content there, then it will occur for me in an external way. So like when I was looking for my soul tribe, I still am like haven't really found fully, but I've relaxed on it, and a few people have come into my field of interactions that I can talk to about aspects of my growth and awareness of my consciousness that I couldn't, or I didn't have before. I think that's going to expand, but I just one of the things that occurred to me while I was so busy looking for it and trying to find ways to do this was I was just like one night I was just like, I think I've said it, like just stop stressing about it. But I also was like, I'm gonna be my own friend. Like I'm gonna be the person I can talk to. I will be enough for that. And I can do that. I can be my own friend in that way. And just be content with that. And if I meet friends and like outside of myself, then that's fine. So that was one thing. So in regards to abundance, I know how to be happy with where I am right now and just like look at stuff that I'm grateful for and enjoy that aspect of it and not like worry too much about the future. I mean, I still do. It comes and goes though. Um, the more time I spend not doing that, the better. But I am aware that it does happen and I don't need to like struggle against it. If it does come, then it comes and it'll go when it goes. And letting it come and go like an ebb and flow. Hope it ebbs and flows less in that way. But abundance, I don't know, like, so I know how to be in the moment and content with what I am, or where I am with abundance, like being content with what I have now. But how can you be abundant to yourself? Like, so I kind of struggle with that a little bit. Because I know, like, in a divine partner too, like, you can just be that to yourself, right? Treat yourself the way you would want a divine partner to treat you or be with you, right? So be gentle with yourself, be kind with yourself, listen to yourself, um, be unconditional with yourself, accept yourself as you are, make time for yourself, like all those type of things you can be for yourself and be that for yourself. And that should materialize. Still testing it. I think I'm still wanting that external aspect in a way. So I haven't put that to rest and been content with just by myself so that it could come. But yeah, I think like that's part of it. Um, yeah, but the abundance thing is kind of like, how are you abundant to yourself? Just think of the ways that you are abundant, maybe. I can do that. I can be content with what I have and I can think of the past ways things came to me. I don't know. Past ways things came to me and how that shows I'm abundant. I can think of the things I have now and be happy in this moment and think of abundance in that way. And I can think of the ways, the resources in myself that's abundant. Like I have this beautiful, all these thoughts and capabilities and feelings and insights. All of that is never ending. It's like a consistent stream. So I'm abundant that way, and I can be content with that abundance. And maybe those thoughts will manifest in the external. Anyway, so that was just one aspect I was looking at in terms of creating the reality you want. I think those things can help to contribute. The simplification of the process, I think. I'm finding out there are like different aspects to the process, the things that I'm facing and things that are coming up for me, or understandings that I'm getting that help me push forward. Like, like if you make the leap, then dealing with the fear, it's dealing with the fear, pushing past the fear and allowing it, not fighting it, looking at what the fears are, living in the moment, following your joys, following your passions, being what you want to come into your life, to yourself, and to others who are in your field of interaction. I don't know what else to say other than your lives. Why do I say field of interaction? It's such a weird thing to say. Right. So I was talking with a friend the other day and she mentioned confidence in where you're going or feeling confident. So you kind of know what you would like. I sat with that yesterday too. What do I feel confident about in this process of coming to me? And what don't I feel confident about? And that was really good because what happens is like it specifies, you kind of get a clear picture of what you think is possible and what you don't think is possible. And then you can look at, well, why do you feel like this can't come to pass? And look at it and feel how you feel about it. All that are like indications of where you're at and where you need to put in some work or just be aware of and identify to allow to pass, to rethink or try to rewire, or maybe something you don't want that you just don't know you don't want it. But so when you don't identify it, I think it's just like a big jumble. It's like identifying what things you're fearful about so you can like sit down and look at them and see if they are like if they are actual fears or just things you're making up and they all jumbled together. So you like, you could see like, is it a lot of fears or is it just a few fears that I'm making bigger than it is and all these things. So yeah. So the confidence thing is another thing. So making the leap, looking at the fears, being specific what the fears are, allowing for the fears, allowing for you being human and this experience being different. And so you're going to have your issues with fear and doubt, but knowing that they will pass in the time that they need to pass and looking at even if they're valid fears or doubts. So that makes it less of a monster, less of a big thing when you can identify it than looking at following your joys every day, living in the moment that kind of leads you down the path and looking at your confidence, what you're confident about occurring, what you're not confident about occurring, identifying it and seeing if you need any rewiring there, but also not pushing against it if you're not confident about it, allowing for it to occur, allowing for it to exist because it's all part of the process and it's different from what you were doing before, and then being what you want to be to yourself in that aspect. I guess also like say I want the podcast to be a success, right? I can look at my own podcast and be that to myself because that's what I want other people to do, right? Check out my podcast. So I need to listen to my podcast and see if I enjoy them, which I do. I do listen to them and I do enjoy them. But I think, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one to be successful. And I do enjoy my little art pieces. So yeah, I guess. So that's where I'm at today with the process stuff like that. So I am going to read. Oh, so I didn't post chapter 14 on YouTube. I posted it on the podcast app, so it should be on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and wherever Spotify podcasts post podcasts. I think Amazon too, I'm not sure. But I didn't post it on YouTube because I just I don't know why I didn't. But I think I'm gonna post this one on YouTube, number 15. I don't think I liked how the shirt neck was fitting. I think that's what it was. Which is really a superficial reason not to post that because it's not about how you look. And definitely I'm not like super picky, but the neck of the shirt was really looking crazy. All right. 15. Earth's initiation through integrity. This beautiful earth is a treasure so profound and so magnanimous that it draws those from far and space to come cherish the beauty that is here. We want you to feel that beauty inside yourself and let it pulsate within your own beings. As you allow this beauty to come into you, it will move you profoundly, and you will begin, as a species, to command that the beautification of earth become the first priority for all. We want to seed this idea into you so that you awaken to your responsibility to earth. We have awakened within you the responsibility to yourselves, and you are on the road to becoming the best that you can be. We congratulate you. Now, what we are going to do for earth. Now, what are you going to do for earth? And how are you going to do it? We have taught you to command the best for yourself in all possible moments. Since Earth is your home, how are you now going to extend this energy to Earth and affect this planet with what you know? How many of you have walked your own property, considering it a sacred space, and let Earth know how much you treasure it? That sort of communication will get you involved with the beautiful Earth. Involve yourselves in doing. Look at your garbage, at what you are throwing away, and what you are unconscious of. It is an exact reflection of what we have asked you to do with yourselves. Look at your thoughts and at the garbage that clutters your psyche. Okay, I get it. All we have taught you, you can extend to Earth. Wherever you go, communicate with Earth and let the planet know you are awakening. You must think of yourself as a thread of light. Wherever you walk, drive, fly, or visit, you are carrying your thread of light. As more and more threads are woven around the planet, eventually there will be a fantastic cosmic wave of light. We are in a world that is on the brink of slowing down before it goes into a mad frenzy. You can begin that slowdown by consciously taking greater care of Earth. The predominant consciousness of Earth on Earth at this time, particularly in the United States, maintains that having the best looking lawn is a status symbol. In order to have the best looking lawn, you use as many pesticides and chemical fertilizers as possible until the lawn begins to look like a carpet that would be in your living room. Where did that value system come from, and what is the sense in it? The sense in that value system is that someone made money off a product and created a marketing campaign that gave the product legitimacy and someone bought it. Communicate with Earth, listen to it, and let this beautiful planet teach you how to live in harmony. This is a slow process, and you are not going to learn it overnight. Hear Earth saying, listen, would you like someone pouring pesticides on your skin? This is what happens when you pour them on Earth. Earth is a sentient being, a collection of beings. The sentient beings that make up Earth came into this collective of consciousness out of love for the unity of this consciousness and desire to experience being a home for consciousness. This is like you being the home for all the bacteria and all the things that live on your skin and inside your body. You work with them. Earth considers that in order to be a good mother to its children, it must let the children learn their own lessons. If you want something, there are certain ramifications and things you must do and responsibilities you must take on to accomplish your goal. Earth is teaching human beings responsibility by allowing you to create disruption upon its surface and into its interior. When Earth is in jeopardy and humanity has pushed things too far, Earth will do whatever is necessary to teach the human species about the proper care of its home in order for you, as the inhabitants, to learn a bigger lesson. In divine time, in divine love of humanity and divine acceptance of its role as teacher, Earth will teach you about its own secrets and powers so that you can understand how to walk with cooperation and love of Earth and not walk with disrespect. This inevitably leads to the overwhelming probability of Earth doing some major changes in order to capture the consciousness of human beings and point out to them that they are missing what they are missing. If 20 million people disappeared in an afternoon because of an Earth change, perhaps the other humans would wake up. Perhaps. You have heard the predictions of Earth changes over and over again. Some of you have taken them with a grain of salt. You have not thought they would happen to you, though you might think they would happen to someone else or in the newspaper halfway around the world. What about when a change happens at your doorstep or in the next city over? What about when the major cities in the United States begin to collapse? How do you think you will feel if you awake someday and find that there has been a tear in the earth from New York to Washington, D.C.? Would that be enough to shake you up a little bit, enough to restructure and revalue your lives? You are becoming more aware of what is going on because now your newspapers are beginning to carry the stories. The stories have actually been there for some time. There have been environmentalists and conservationists talking about environmental changes for 20 years. But people figured that the problem would fix themselves. Besides, environmental issues do not sell newspapers, and to a certain extent, people have not been interested in learning about responsibility. That attitude is going to backfire. Most people will claim ignorance and think the issues came out of nowhere. Things are going to get so severe that we predict there will be countries that will ban the use of the automobile. Its teachings or lessons at this time have to do with many things. As frequencies change, everything changes. When frequencies change, it is like moving from your house. The whole environment changes. These changes are designed to uplift everyone's life. They are designed to bring everyone to a greater place of ease and comprehension. They are designed to disengage human beings from the paradigm that has defined your world as solid in very limited terms. When human beings make quality of life the number one priority in their lives by honoring the quality of Earth's life, there will be very few Earth changes upon the planet. Quality of life is super important. I know that's like major for me, quality of life and my time to follow my joys and my passions and to have time to think and to commune with my inner self and the divine and to be in stillness and quiet and all these things. To eat the food I want. Oh, I was supposed to make cinnamon rolls today. I forgot. And technically I can still do it this evening. If not, I can make the dough tonight and then roll it out in the morning. Will it be cold? I want to do it today. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. probably wait till tomorrow so that it's not cold, because I don't want the yeast to not swell. Okay. When human beings, okay, I passed that. Oh. However, most humans, particularly in the Western world, are concerned with a very different quality of life. How many electronic devices they own, how many clothes are in their closets, and how many cars are in their garages. They are not at all connected to the effects of all the material manufacturing on the sentient being that is your parent. As human beings do not change, I'm sorry, if human beings do not change, if they do not make the shift in values and realize that without Earth, they could not be here, then Earth, in its love of its own initiation and its reaching for a higher frequency, will bring about a cleansing that will balance it once again. There is the potential for many people to leave the planet in an afternoon. Maybe then everyone will begin to wake up to what is going on. Oh my God, the sunset's so pretty. There have been events all along stimulating you, encouraging you, and bringing you to the realization that there must be global change. There are grassroots movements that are going to grow phenomenally. What happens to Earth depends on how willing everyone is to change. What is your responsibility in this? How willing are you to change? The time has come not to just talk about it, but to do it. As you commit to change in your own life, you automatically make the changes available to the entire planet. Earth is striving for its integrity. The planet feels at this time deprived of its integrity, dishonored, and unloved. Earth loves you and gives you a place to operate. It is a living organism. One second. Again, one of my friends. Okay, where did I leave off? Earth it is a living organism. Earth is about to reestablish its integrity and let you understand the importance of loving yourself by loving Earth. Yes, yes. If you love yourself, you love Earth because you're a part of Earth and you live here. So not loving Earth is also a part of us not loving ourselves or being disconnected from ourselves. Oh my God, did not make that connection, but so true, so true, so true. Love yourself and love Earth because you are the same. Earth changes could play an important role in breaking down the system. They will bring about the collapse of the insurance companies, which will bring about the collapse of many other systems. Now, I live in Florida, and you know, I live in Miami in the hurricane season, and we're having a lot of issues with those insurance companies for the flood insurance and stuff like that, the home insurance. Yes. So, yeah. I could see this happening. Many of the banking businesses sell their mortgages to the insurance companies, and the insurance companies invested very heavily in the junk bond industry. Given a few more major disasters like Hurricane Hugo or the San Francisco earthquake, coupled with the war and the underground economy, how long do you think they can continue to operate? On paper, no one has quite caught up with this yet. It is still a matter of checks, shuffling from one bank to another and keeping everything just above water. So earth changes more than likely will be utilized in some way to bring about that collapse. Earth changes will also bring about a jointing and triumph of the human spirit because men and women will go out to help each other, to help other men and women when disasters occur. This bonds people. There are technologies that can clean this place up very quickly if it were the plan. However, As the species at present does not take responsibility for Earth, there would be no point. The present species must learn to honor its nest. Oh, honor your nest. All of you must learn to honor your bodies, because without your bodies, you would not be here. And without Earth, you would not be here. Your body and your planet are your two greatest gifts and the most valuable things you own. Ideally, you would express a sacredness and honoring and cherishing and love of Earth in your physical being. This would resonate in your home, your property, and land you're associated with, and the land of your body as well. Earth is more resilient than you would imagine. It is here to feed you and sustain you. The animals are here to work in cooperation with you. If everything is done with love, chapter. And if everything is done with love, it has the force of the creator behind it. Done with love, there would be no hurt and no harm. If you need a guide to make decisions about your behavior, ask yourself, am I operating with my highest integrity? Am I operating with love? Is love my intention for Earth, the animals, all the people I encounter, and all the things I do? Everything off Earth can be used if Earth is loved and honored in the process. It may be difficult to imagine a gang of oil workers before they set the bit into the ground, holding hands and asking for guidance and permission to penetrate the Earth. Yet, if this were done, things would be much more in harmony. You laugh because you deem it foolishness to communicate to something that does not talk back. But if industry, educators, and all people first stopped and committed to the highest integrity and love for all involved and asked that there be no harm to Earth or humans, it would be phenomenally received. This would put into motion the plan for a high civilization. Such awareness is beginning to come. Many people are getting this kind of information at this time. Many human beings do not want to put themselves on the line and stand up in integrity because they are afraid of getting into trouble. They say, I will just keep my job and my security. What the heck? One of the most incredible things that can happen in any society occurs when everyone's security is taken away. Courage begins to blossom like a freshly planted garden because people have nothing to lose. Humans begin to stand up. Never feel that your efforts are in vain. Use the power of your mind to clearly intend what you want. Ask for assistance from the non-physical realms and visualize the outcome you would like to have. Understand that you create your reality and that every other person creates their reality. Everyone has the opportunity to wake up at any time. When you approach anything, approach it with the bigger picture. Oh, okay, wait. I want to highlight this. Also, I find the camera looking grainy. When people create their own reality, consciously created, you will create a new planet. There will literally be a splitting of the worlds. This splitting will more than likely not occur for more than 20 years. In the meantime, Earth will more than likely be ravaged by war quite a few times. You will have some very puzzling and confusing space dramas take place with some space cousins who need to figure out quite publicly who they are. We haven't had the space cousins yet. Earth is on a dimensional collision course, and many dimensions or probabilities will intersect one another in this decade. Some of these realities will be shocking, depending upon the level of shock each person needs to kick their consciousness into another paradigm. Shock does not mean destruction necessarily. It can simply be a method to alter the way you view reality. Whenever you're shocked by something, you can no longer grip reality the way you gripped it the moment before. There is an instantaneous kick in the stomach. and everything changes. The world is in for numerous shocks, and not simply on a national level. We are talking about global intersections of dimensions by which realities will seem to come tumbling down only for those whose realities need to crumble. So, for the people whose realities need to crumble, it will come crumbling down. I don't know if I should close the door. The concept of probabilities maintains that there is no one reality and that you yourselves branch off into other realities continuously through your thoughts. It's not that you change the rule, it's that you change which rule you occupy. This goes back to the idea that the rule is not solid. It is constructed of energy, and that energy takes form through the thoughts of those that participate within the world. Yes, sir. There are, and there always have been, probable Earths and probable experiences. There are probable yous leading quite different lives than the you know. You are frequency and energy. You are pulsating to the beat of a chord of energy that sings you into existence. And you are so familiar with it that you stay focused continuously on one aspect of your experience. Experiences gained from many perspectives, and you are learning how to change the frequency and beat so that you can notice what you usually do not notice. You are continuously monitored as to the effect of the neurological changes that are taking place in your bodies. The rewiring or restructuring is like your nervous system going from a 2-lane highway system to a 12-lane highway system. When this takes place, you will have memories of events that have run simultaneously with other events. At first, this may freak you out a little bit because you will have no place to plug them in. For example, say 2 years down the road, you remember Thanksgiving dinner you had in 1989 or 1990. And suddenly you have a memory of an event you never before remembered, and that is right next to and parallel to the Thanksgiving dinner you did remember. You then realize that you were at 2 Thanksgivings. This is what will happen as the nervous system comes into a new pulsation and the body has its library put back together. As the light encoded filaments reform themselves and broadcast what they have available, the nervous system must be able to carry and translate it. I think this is happening in my dreams a little bit. I don't know if it's like parallel lives, or past lives, but then time isn't linear. They said it was elliptical or something in a previous chapter. But I don't remember the dreams clearly when I wake up. It's not any time between dream and wake. This is in dreams. I have like a faint memory of what I dreamt and understood. But then I forget, like when I wake up. It's like a faint memory. It feels like different lives. Like it feels like me, but it's different lives. I look completely different time periods. But I know that but I'm not quite sure if I dream it is the way I feel like. Maybe they're now introducing me to it if this book is true. I think a lot of the aspects of this book is true. So I'm not sure if everything is, but a lot of it I think is true. That kind of, it's in my dream. It's in my dreams though. So it could be getting me used to it in a gentle way, which I appreciate. I love gentleness. I would not like a kick in the stomach. I like gentle nudges. Back rubs. Back rub me into memory. Mhm. There is a great polarization of energies occurring with many participants and observers. Many who have come to observe have come to disrupt as well. They have come to learn their stuff in this time. There are also participants who are completely intent on creating a rule that will be quite glorious. As we see it, as the probable worlds begin to form, there will be great shiftings within humanity on the planet. It will seem that great chaos it will seem that great chaos and turmoil are forming, that nations are rising against each other in a war, and that the earthquakes are happening more frequently. It will seem as if everything is falling apart and cannot be put back together. Just as you sometimes have rumblings and creakings in your lives as you change your old patterns and move into new energies, Earth is shaking itself free, and a certain realignment or readjustment period is to be expected. It will also seem that the animals and fish are departing Earth. Those animals are now moving over to the new world as it is being formed. They are not ending their existence, they are merely slipping into the new world to await your joining them. It is difficult to explain this to a certain extent because it is beyond the third dimensional experience. Basically, moving into the fourth dimension. When this move is made, you will literally form a new earth. It will seem as if you have awoken from a dream into a world that is pristine and beautiful. Your skies are full of observers watching and waiting to see how you will do this and offering to give you assistance in doing it. For many people, it seems as if the shift is completely beyond all possibility, but not for you who have studied this energy as alchemists and ancient Atlanteans in temple life. The training you have had in other times is encoded within your beings to prepare you for this juncture. The people who leave the planet during the time of earth changes do not fit here any longer, and they are stopping the harmony of Earth. When the time comes that perhaps 20 million people leave the planet at one time, there will be a tremendous shift in consciousness for those who are remaining. When a large group passes over together, they create an impact upon the consciousness of those who remain. Expand yourselves, begin to dwell in other realities besides the reality that is work and sleep and eating. When you are awake, let your mind expand to possibilities. And where am I? When you are awake, let your mind expand to possibilities and let ideas come to you. Ideas are free, they are everywhere, and they are broadcast. And they are broadcast continually coming to the planet. When Earth does its shifting, not everyone will experience the same thing. Those who need to experience destruction will experience an Earth shift or rotation with destruction because they will not fit with the new frequency. Those who are prepared to hold a higher vibration will experience a frequency shift. So for one person, there may be the end of their life as they know it and dire destruction, while for another, there will be a state of ecstasy. All potentials exist. Remember, you live in a symbolic world that is a result of your thoughts. The outside world represents to you what is going on internally with you. So if the world is falling apart, what does that represent? It represents the falling apart or collapsing of what is inside in order to create the rise of a new system and a new energy. It is imperative for you to love and bless the changes within society and not move into fear or anxiety about what is present. It is your task to be in the vibration of knowing, even without sense, that in every event, there is an opportunity for spirit to do its work and to uplift. You are an exceptionally lazy species. Wow. Okay, guys. You give your power away to anyone who will do things for you, whether it is your boss or your wife or your husband. You give your power away over and over again. In order to turn you towards yourself, you need some events to put you in charge of your lives. Bless these changes that come to earth, and in these events, trust that what you want with clarity will be manifest. You will find yourself tested. You will say, am I a victim here? Is the world collapsing around me? Or is it uplifting itself around me while everything is seemingly in the midst of collapse? An important primary belief for you to hold is that you will be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, intending that you will be in the right place at the right time, more than intending it, knowing it will open to you guidance, perhaps without even looking for it. A piece of land or an opportunity to connect with someone else will be put before you. You will recognize it and say, "This is for me. I shall take this." Believe it or not, there will come a time, or let us say, there could come a time in many of your lives when you will shut the door on life as you know it. Literally, you may give up the house that you have and walk out of it with only a few possessions. It does not seem possible now, does it? Something inside you will say, "My God, has the world gone mad? What are my values? What is the most important thing now for my survival?" And spirit will come in and guide you to tell you what is the most important thing for your survival. That may mean simply carting off a few possessions. Some of you in this life, some of you in this life will literally stand on the threshold of your houses, look within, and it will be all meaningless because the most important things will be your spiritual values and your life. All these material possessions and collections of things mean nothing in light of what you are becoming. Can you imagine the events that will be needed to move you to that action? They are not going to be small events. Remember humanity's destiny to evolve. We guarantee that life, as you now know it, will not be around 10 years from now. The world as you know it, the reality as you know it, the comforts and projections and vacations and all the things that you do will not be here 10 years from now. But they were this in 1992. And I don't know, those things were there in 10 years, but maybe it was delayed. You are here for your own personal evolution. How that evolution is going to come about worldwide will be rather interesting. We are not talking about the evolution of a few dozen people. We are talking about the evolution of the species. There will need to be some events to bring people to awakening. That is why it is happening to be, that's why it's going to be your challenge to live your life with courage and have the courage to live your light. We recommend that all of you intend that the Native American teachings come your way. Begin to explore them through sweat lodges, drumming, dancing, and so on. This will awaken many things in you and teach you much more about Earth. You are coded to ritual. When you perform ritual, your body begins to remember who you are and what you are. As we see it, communities are growing to be very influential in the 1990s. They will form in tracts of land that will be anywhere from 50 to 100 acres, perhaps as small as 25 acres. And they may house anywhere from 30 to 100 people. These groups will come together because the members will be responding to an inner knowing. The new technologies that will be used in the coming communities will be technologies based on love. There's nothing wrong with technology. The major stumbling block of technology now in use on this planet is that it is used to separate, manipulate, and control people rather than to uplift them. Technology with love is the key. Many people will be given great amounts of technological information that will seemingly come out of nowhere. You may be given information for an invention and yet not have any idea what it is you are inventing. You may have to hand it over to someone else to bring it into reality. People will work together in harmony to bring forth this new technology. Part of the evolution of consciousness involves uniting one consciousness with another, not keeping yourself separated. Perhaps one person will come up with an idea and another will take the idea and put it into manifestation, and someone else will sell it. As we see it, there will be a tremendous underground market for inventions. These inventions will never be shown in the traditional marketplace because you would be wiped out, snuffed if it was known that you had these abilities. There will be great trading from one community to another of these underground technologies that will do all kinds of things for you. It can be one of the most rewarding experiences of this lifetime for you to live in cooperation with a group of people who love the land and get the land, Earth, to respond. In loving the land and letting Earth know what you are after, Earth will nurture and take care of you. That is key. So, in loving the land and letting Earth know what you are after, Earth will nurture and take care of you. That's the key. So we have to let Earth know what we need from the land, and Earth will nurture us. Nurture us. That's cool. Okay. It's a really good book, though. Okay, 16 Heretics Ahead of Time. Wow, we only have 6 more chapters. We can do that in like 6 days. I think we'll finish this book in March. What shall our next book be? Shall we read The Hathors or shall we read the manuscript of Mary Magdalene? I don't know, but I've been thinking about the next book, and I think that's where I'm at. The Hathors I started and didn't finish. I think it got too technical for me. Wasn't enough storytelling. Apparently, I like stories. But that's it for today. I'm hoping anything that I shared was helpful to someone, or someone can teach me and build on what I shared so we can all learn together. Hope that you know you are loved and that you know you are loved. And again, that you are gentle with yourself and kind to yourself and try to understand yourself and try to forgive yourself. And whatever you are to yourself, I want to say I know manifests in the external. I know it manifests in the external. So what am I working on being to myself? Abundant and a divine partner. Yes, sirree. Working on combining my divine feminine and masculine aspects so I can have that in the external. Okay. Anyways, that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a really great day. Bye.